Hello and welcome to Let's Play Vigilante, a Master System game you've seen me play before, but never to any great extent. This title screen's very short, so I'm just going to press start now. This is a demo mode. Of course, start is 1 on the Master System. The gangs have taken over the town. It's up to you to defend your turf, specifically your lawn. It has not been mowed in some time. The rogues have taken Maria. Only you can get her back. Why should I care? They never really explain who Maria is and why she's of any worth to you. Anyway, this is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up by IRM. I think it was originally an arcade game, but it was ported to the Sega Master System, and it's fairly awful, but I kind of like it, because it was one of the first games I ever owned. Get out of my damn face! As I said, I've played it a couple of times before, and it's fairly straightforward. You move left and right, you punch with the 1 button, you kick with the 2 button, and if you want to jump, well, you better get used to pressing them both at the same time, because that is really feckin' awkward. To do the jump kick that I just demonstrated, you must hold down while you jump, or at some point during your jump. If you want to get beaten up, you want to stand in front of that guy for an extended period of time. Here's Stabby Jackass, also known as Stabitha, also known as I don't know what his real name is. There are a variety of enemies in this game, all of them want to beat you to a pulp. The ones that most commonly occur are the guys with the green trousers and white vests. I will affectionately refer to them as flumps, because the sound it makes when you punch them for some reason reminded me of marshmallows of the same name. I really don't know why. Also, I don't know why I suck horribly at the game. Normally I don't. I covered all the controls I'm aware of. Wait, no, if you press up while you jump, you do a jumping punch, which I only discovered on one of my more recent videos of this same game. Being sober this time around, hopefully I'll be able to do it a little better. Anyway, we collected the one and only power-up in the game, which is the chain whip, or nunchucks, or something. Oh, hi Fred from Scooby-Doo, who's seen better days. Get off the screen, please. That's the noise. It's the noise it makes when you hit most enemies with the whip. That reminds me of the flump. I don't know why, whatever, I'm just rambling nonsensicalness at this point. The chain whip gives you a range to your 1 attack, rather than having a shitty little short-range punch combo. I'm getting murderized. The problem with this game is it's hard to explain all the game concepts when it keeps throwing fucking enemies at me. As you've probably ascertained, the orange bar up at the top is my life, and the blue bar is the health of the boss. There's a time limit, and then to the right of that you have the number of lives you have remaining, which is actually 3, because as with many games you have a breakdown life at 0. Here's the first boss, destroying his lungs. Let's kill his minion first, how about? This guy with stick. And then we get near enough, the boss triggers. He has a couple of attacks, that sort of punch thing, hook punch, I don't know what the technical term is. He also has a little kick he does when you get nearer to him. The best way to defeat this boss, as I've covered before, is to punch him in the nuts. Well, what an engaging combat we are having, sir. Apparently I've still got life left, who knew? And I died! Ineptitude. It persists at all times. Hey, apparently someone wants to point a gun at Maria, according to the sign in the background. Get off me, you fools! These enemies simply run at you and hold you in a sort of chokehold that drains your health steadily, and to escape you tap left and right rapidly. This guy just stands still and shoots occasionally, not taking into account the fact that there is a duck option by holding down. He's a bit of a dumbass. Fred, who's seen better days, has just a stick. He has slightly more range, and he occasionally will dart in and out to attack you. Anyway, let's have another go at this here boss, shall we? Once you get him in a rhythm, he's really easy to defeat. You just keep punching that nutsack. Yep. It's a real challenge, this boss. Oh my. And he goes down without much of a thought. Hurrah. Let's do this awkward, weird fucking jump off the edge of the screen before I throw up. And then you gain a bonus based on your remaining time. And your remaining health, as it happens. I don't believe the score actually does anything. Who knows? The van is carrying Maria to their headquarters. The junkyard. Where all good criminal gangs make their home. Among broken orange and green cars, and no other colours! 'Cause fuck those guys! You'll notice that I've complained in my previous little attempts at this game that the sound sounded horrible through this emulator. Well, I've now fixed that issue. It was some piddly little technical setting. I don't honestly remember what it was, but I sorted it, so now it sounds good. Some sound-related blarg. You're immune to the chokehold guys when you jump, and it's actually the best way to deal with them rather than attempt to punch them, if I'm perfectly honest, because you have to time the punch perfectly and they can interrupt you when you're trying to fight other enemies who will back away from you just to get out of range, so you don't kill them quickly enough and then the flumps get you. Although that one just walked right through me and I can't explain why. It's best not to attempt it. And then this guy's got a stick. It's not a stick, it's nunchucks. I believe it's supposed to be anyway. Speaking of nunchucks, I have one, or a chain whip, or whatever it is, I don't know. The cover of the game would give you an indication that it's nunchucks, I suppose. Ah! It does a fair bit of damage, and a lot of the enemies who have melee attacks, particularly the ones with weaponry, can get you stun-locked if you're not careful, so it's not a good idea to let them hit you even once, because you'll probably lose about half your fucking health bar. Another advantage of the chain whip I didn't mention earlier was that it pushes enemies that take more than one hit away from you, which makes it invaluable in surviving when you get attacked from both sides. As you are wont to do. It's the game's favourite trick, is to throw a melee enemy who takes more than one hit in front of you and to have a flump behind you, such that he gets you in a chokehold and then you get wailed on by the melee guy. Also, this game has very short levels and bosses with green hair. This boss's weakness is jump kicks. If you just jump kick, you'll probably win. He does have a little sort of retaliatory jump kick of his own. I'm not sure what the criteria is for him actually using it. He's one of the more difficult bosses to predict, because he can also do a sort of spin jump in a la Sonic the Hedgehog, as he curls into a ball. But this seems to be the way to do it. You back up, you jump, kick, and well, occasionally there's a backflip. There's your spin jump. Basically, don't get too near to him. Keep your distance, make sure you're just about in range to hit him with the jump kick. Which, by the way, is kind of painful on the hands to execute, on account of the fact you have to press both buttons and then down while you do it. It's very annoying. And at no point is this conveyed to you in-game, so you would have had to rely on the instruction manual, which I didn't have for this game. So I went through a long period of time not even knowing how to jump, let alone do the fucking jump attacks. And, as I mentioned earlier, the jump punch I only discovered probably a year, maybe two ago. Anyway, he's dead, noisily, or silently. Get out of here. Yeah, when you kill a boss, you aren't technically done. You can go back through the level and get attacked by flumps randomly spawning. Oh hey, here's a van. I wonder what would happen if we walked into it. Those crafty bastards had the engine started. Come back! I'll catch you on foot, you bastards! That was a very slow run.